What's up guys, we're gonna BroBeatzTV, and today I'm gonna be showing you how to make hard beats with absolutely no experience. So if this is your first time making a beat, or maybe it's not, but I'm gonna show you how to cook up. So let's go ahead and hop into this. We're at 140 BPM. We're not gonna touch this because we want this to be the easiest beat we've ever made that's still hard. So the first thing you need to do, and this is a big secret, this is absolutely not a joke. So what you wanna do is make sure things look nice. Okay, you ever try to think in a dirty room? It doesn't ever go well. So we're gonna color these. So we're gonna take our melody, and this is not a joke, I'm serious. Y'all see me do this every video, okay? We're gonna turn this a little bit green, okay? And then we can turn these, let's do these a purple, okay? Gonna do this purple, something like that, boom. And then we can also make our 808s or low end a little darker, so we kind of differentiate between them. So that's all you need first. Okay, so everything's clean, organized. Now what we're gonna do is head over to make our melody. Next, we're gonna do the melody. So this is gonna be extremely easy. So this is the preset I'm using. You can use a sound like this. Okay, if you have a different DAW or whatever you have, you can go ahead and try to find a sound that's similar to this. But you want something that's pretty light, like we have here, okay? So this is Flex, this is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 in here and we're gonna I'm gonna give you a template that you can follow forever, literally forever. You don't have to change this up at all. Obviously you'll get better, but all we need to do, let's do like a F or something. It doesn't really matter the key, right? It's just, I'm trying to get this point across. So this is all you need to do. Take one note, copy it, and go up 7. Don't worry about what that means. Okay, so we're doing a 5th. Okay, but who cares, right? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the path to good beats. This is all you need. We're gonna copy this over again. Now we're gonna add one more note. So where do we add that note? Every single time, just do this. Place a note here, place a note here. Do you see that? And you just delete. Now we have a suspended 2nd chord. What does that mean? Who cares? We don't have music experience, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Now, if you do want to know, you could go up here and you can kind of see the chords. Boom, boom, boom. Like I said, I don't care about that in this video. We just want to make a hard beat. We're going to pull it over, take this note, okay, and hold shift, pull up 1. That is going to give us a minor. So the template here is we have our 5th, we have our suspended 2nd, and our minor. These are only chords you will ever need, really, to make like a hard beat, right? So this is the pattern. We're just going to move this over and we're only going to use these notes. That is it. Okay. This is a process. Don't skip the video. If you skip the video, you're going to be trash forever. So just trust me. Okay. We're going to copy it over. And then what we're going to do is just make a top melody. So we're going to highlight and hold shift, click control and shift. And then we're just going to, I don't know, we're just going to pick some notes. Okay. Boom. Control up, and I'm going slow on purpose. Control up, oops. And then, yeah, we have something like this. Very simple. Now, the last thing we're going to do is copy it over. And then you see this C here. You see this right there? You're going to control down. So pull it down an octave. Okay, so we're going from C7, okay, to C6. Boom. And that's all you need to do. Well, actually, let's keep this up here and just copy it and paste it just so we have more to play with. And then we can go ahead and delete. I don't know, we can probably do something like that just to make it a little bit different. And then this is our melody. All right, so that is the melody we're going to roll with. So what we're going to go ahead and do is do like our counters or our other instruments that we have. Let's hop into it. So we just got done making our first little melody here. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to right click, copy. Why is this on the 2nd channel? Let's delete this real quick. All right, there we go. So we're going to copy this first melody and pull it here to this dark chocolate preset. So this is in Arcs on Cityscape, or I don't know, why is it on Cruncher? Yeah, okay, it's supposed to be on here, but this is the preset I chose. So why am I doing this? This is just to make the melody sound a little bit more full. Okay, that's all. That's all we're doing. So now we need to go to our second or our third instrument, which is just a piano. So if you're using any stock or whatever DAW you're using, any stock piano will work. Okay. So now we're just going to kind of make it unique, because if you're following this video, all of you have this melody, right? So this is where you would make it unique, but I would encourage you to at least just follow along if you actually have no experience. So we're just going to take these ghost notes here and just make a melody with that. Okay, we're not going to go outside of it or anything like that. So copy it over, make some adjustments. Oops. Boom. And that's it. And then we just can do something like this. And then maybe at the end here, we can just take one out and pull it over. So this is me making my own, like making it my own unique melody. So if you just saw what I did, you can maybe add 2 here. Okay. Or you can maybe try a different note. You get a slightly different vibe. I'm just going to use what I have just because it's easier, because that's what we made first. That's all we have. So this is our melody all together. Now, what we're going to do is move on to the effects. So this is where we're going to make it actually sound really good. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare a stock preset for you. So this is a custom one just for you. So I'll make this and then we'll come back and then I'll show you how it's made. Now it is time for the effects. So I prepared a little custom preset for you. So if you're using a different DAW, you can kind of copy the same type of effects, but all of the process will be the same. I tried to make it as simple as possible while still making things sound great. So this is step 1. You want to take all of your melodies. So you highlight them if you're in FL Studio, and then you want to click on an empty channel here. So one of these little channel racks here. Okay. Right click, and you want to go to channel routing and then just click the first one. Right. So route select the channels to this track, and it's going to put everything in here. So now you can control all the sounds at once. This is very important. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about the effects. So all of this is stock effects. So we're going to turn this on and we're going to start with the first one, and I'm going to explain why I'm using this. So let's start with the first one. We have a chorus. This is default. The reason I do this is it widens it and it thins up the melody a bit, just so it doesn't have any like harsh frequencies. It's not meant to do that, but it just kind of gives you that effect. So I'll show you what I mean. Off, on. So now it's a lot wider and full, or at least it gives you that like illusion that it is. So that is why I add this first. This is first. Okay. This is very important to order. Now, this is what's going to make the melody sound more like a sample later when we add the other effects, the pitch shifter. So this is a stock plugin in FL Studio. If you're using a different DAW, just use something that changes the pitch. I use a +4, and then I did mess around with the duration. I just ended on this 118, but +4 is fine for me. You can use any number you want. I just use +4 because it's just a safe number. That is the only reason why I'm using it. So this is what it sounds like. Off, on. So you see all those weird little artifacts and stuff that's in there. That is what we want. That's going to make it sound like it's kind of like chopped and sampled. Next, we're actually going to go ahead and chop it. So we're going to use gross beat, and I chose this little preset here. This is Chaos 3, and then this is what it looks like. I just thought this sounded pretty cool on top, so let's turn it off and then on. I thought that was interesting. If you want to use a different preset, you can go ahead and do that. Not a problem. Okay. Now, on top, this is important because this melody right now, extremely annoying and probably going to be extremely hard for someone to rap on. So you want to slow it up a bit. So we're going to use our halftime. So this is half speed. How you get here is you would go to presets, momentary, and then you would click half speed right here. Okay. That's how you get there. There's other plugins that do this. You don't need gross beat for this. It's just I'm using stock stuff in FL. So now this is what it sounds like. So the last things that we need to do is weaken the melody. So we need to strip it of some frequencies so that our drums can shine. So we're gonna take an EQ, and then we're just gonna click this little preset here. Okay, this little preset, but oh, you can't see that. I'm gonna click the preset and then go to 40k hertz plus, what is it, 18k hertz cut. Okay, click that and it should look like this. And you're just gonna squeeze it down right here around this low mid and squeeze this down right around this high mid and just play around those areas. And I'll turn it on, of course. Like, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to do anything different than that. And then we have a compressor on top just to control it a bit. So this is what I chose, 2.2 on the ratio. You can just copy the numbers. I'll show you what it does. So right now, let's turn it on. You can see, not doing much, but when I turn it down, it's kind of crushing the melody. So somewhere around here, that's perfectly fine. And then I just did a little cut on the lows. So I know that took a while, but I want to go slow because if you have no production experience, it's going to be frustrating if I just go click here, do this. Right? So that is the whole workflow through this chain and how I built it. So once we have our melody, now it's time to add some low end and actually make a beat out of this. Next, we're gonna go ahead and take care of the low end. Now, me personally, my style, I like to use multiple 808s. I think it's a lot more interesting than just one because you get two different timbres, or if you don't know what let's not use those terms. They just sound different. All right, so we have this one, and then we have this. All right, now, if you want these drums, I'll leave a link, of course, whatever. Y'all already know, you could check kits, blah, blah, blah. So what we're gonna do is just literally, you see these ghost notes? Now, if you're new to FL Studio and you actually don't have the ghost notes, and I didn't mention this earlier, you can go up to, I believe, options view, and you should see ghost channels right here. Okay, so if I click this, you'll see they go away. So we're gonna turn those back on just so we can see those notes. And all you're gonna do is just place your note here. And now you can see it's starting to sound like something, right? Just us putting that in. Before, it didn't sound that cool. Now it's starting to sound like something that we cooked up when really we didn't really do much. Next, we're gonna take this 808 here, and let's just copy it just so we know we have the same notes. And all we're gonna do is put them in these exact places. So you see this, right? You just literally, I'm gonna just pause the video. You copy this, don't do nothing else. Just literally copy exactly what I have right here. All right, so once you copy that, we're gonna take the first note and delete it. Now, why are we doing this? We have two 808s, okay? So you can see they're playing with one another. So we don't want them overlapping too much. And I'm gonna actually turn these up a bit. Now we're gonna pull this second one down. So we're on the money 808 right here. We're gonna turn that down. Let's do maybe twice, 1, 2. All right, I like that. And I'm gonna turn these down a bit. I feel like they're too strong. That's about right. Okay, definitely a really interesting pattern, even though it's simple. So our 808s are done. They're interesting. We got a nice little melody going. So all you need now is just some drums. Let's go ahead and do that. Lastly, we're gonna go ahead and take care of the drums. So this can be easy if you want it to be. It doesn't matter your skill level. So my advice, if you're a beginner, no experience, do the least as possible and then build on that. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna put in a little clap and just listen to it. I'm gonna put it in these areas. And you could do different patterns. This is just more for like a hip hop trap beat. This is like, but if you wanna do something different, you can do something like this. It doesn't really matter, right? It's really up to you, but I'm gonna just do like this little trap pattern. Now, this first part is very important. You want to make sure you like it and you think it has bounce. Once you have that, nothing else you place matters. It's just kind of add addition to it. So I like this. So I think that sounds nice. So I'm gonna use that. And then I'm gonna let's do like a little pattern right here. Let's click this. So I'm clicking this velocity knob. There's a graph editor. Okay. This is popping up this little window. Probably can't really see, but what we're gonna do is just play with the velocity just a little bit. Just so it's slightly different. And I know that the 808s are clashing a bit. Who cares? I don't really care. I like it. It just sounds fine. Okay. So next we're gonna add our kick in, and we want to stay away from the exact same pattern. So if we did a pattern like this, you don't want the same pattern, at least on this loop. You kind of want it to be different on the second part. Okay. So let's do like a double here, and then maybe we can just kind of do something like that, just slightly different, so it's not exactly the same. I like that. So now we're just gonna start layering things. So we can just start layering some of these. So what I'm gonna do with this, and this is the idea that I have, is I'm just gonna take these notes on this one and just pull the velocity down, just to give it like a consistent, I guess like a consistent pattern, because remember up here we did the same thing with this, right? So I'm gonna keep that consistent in my drums. So I'm gonna keep this alive, and I'm gonna just do it down here. It doesn't need to be on every single one, but since I am layering these, I may as well play around with the velocity and make that an element of my drums. Okay, just so the drums are like their own, and it's like kind of got their own little style to them. So what is this, an open hat? So we can kind of alternate between these two. All right, so the last thing we need to add is our hi-hats. So I'm gonna give you a pattern that works on any beat, any style, it doesn't matter. So what you're gonna do, go to your hi-hats and go 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and repeat this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then you can repeat this all the way until you get to the clap. So we're just gonna go 1, 1, boom, and you stop there. You come over here, you go to bar, and then you're done. Okay, so everything is working all together and our beat is pretty much done. Okay, now if you want to do more, you can, obviously, and I'll just play it a few times through. You can also add an instrument if you really want to, but I think I'm gonna keep it bare bones. Okay, so I'm gonna just play it a few times through. I might mess with some stuff, who knows. Okay, so that's the beat. That's pretty much it. And matter of fact, while we're here, I want you to see something. So this is our finished beat. Okay, now when I turn this off, watch how beginner it will sound. Now you see the difference there? This sounds like something, you know, that's like sampled, or, you know, someone played and mixed and mashed, right? Like, you can't really tell how that melody was made if you didn't actually see it, right? And that's kind of what you want to go for. So you're just kind of hiding the fact that it's just literally just the same notes over and over again the whole time. Okay, so we went from this. Now mixing, because there are sounds in here that are a lot louder than others. Who cares? We're not worried about that. We just want to get the notes and the beat done. So that's what we accomplished. If you want to, you can throw like we could do an EQ just real quick, just to wrap the video up. We can do a soft clipper. Okay. So for the soft clipper settings, you could literally leave it like this. What I like to do is just pull this back to this knob, just like that. Okay. I'm not going to explain what it does right now. And then the EQ, you can just boost and take out frequency. So if you want like it to be more crispy, you can, you know, boost that a little bit. Very simple. Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole process, but that is our beat. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.